Hey, yo, hello. Another one like the other one, and some more of it. This is Liquid Courage. I am your host, doing the most, Beethoven, the innovator. And we going to kick it off like a punt. How's your hygiene doing? A lot of people out there don't really understand how important hygiene is. Okay, hygiene is a serious, serious thing, right? And I'm trying to present this nicely. I was always taught that you can smell yourself before other people smell you. Excuse me, that was a little burp there. I have a little brew I'm sipping. By the way, Elysian Space Dust. If you don't know, now you do. Cheers, have yourself a sip, and relax. Carrying on. If you can smell yourself, if others can smell you, you can smell yourself. If you can smell yourself, others can smell you. You can smell yourself before anyone else can smell you. You know how a lot of times people kick off that silent fart, right? Just past that, right? They pass that off, pass that along. They are going to smell it, whether it's downwind, it doesn't matter. They will smell that before it reaches the next set of nostrils, right? So you can it's like it's scientifically proven. I don't know if it was a study on it, but based on how science works with human anatomy, biology, all these different things, you know what I mean? I feel like it's a scientific fact. I was always taught that growing up, and your hygiene should be taken very seriously. Uh, People don't take their hygiene seriously. And the thing about your hygiene, it's more to it than what we know, like the basics we know. It's like, oh, wash your hands, brush your teeth, floss, gargle. When you hit the shower, the tub and you're soaking, make sure you hit the crevices, your cracks, your armpit, under your balls, your penis, all these different things, right? Behind your ears, right? Your neck, your navel, right? Between your toes. Make sure you get them fingernails. Make you get that nail grit up out of there, right? But it's more to it than that, right? Because we all know that. But sometimes people miss other things like covering your mouth before you cough or sneeze. Hmm? Yeah. Or washing your hands after you do one of these numbers, right? And you got a whole snail trail on your arm, right? You you got to keep these things in mind and getting enough rest. So let me just make it a little more personal. I'm gonna bring you in, right? Come close, check it out, right? So anybody ever been out partying, had like an all night, you was on a good one, had a good one out partying with your friends, family, whatever. You go into that next day with very little sleep or lack of sleep altogether, and you're a little right. You know what I mean? Well, that's what we used to say back in the day. A lot of people think right mean or fresh mean that's good. Nah, not how we used to utilize those words. So when you're ripe, you was a little extra, right? All your areas was a little extra, and not getting enough rest, your body doesn't get a chance to reset, right? So I've done it right to where I took a shower, went to work, worked all day, had a long day, came home, kind of fell out, napped a little bit, right? And got up and showered. But I wasn't smelling all extra. You dig what I'm saying? Because my body got some rest. If your body doesn't get a chance to reset, it's gonna be kicking off all kind of signals, and bad hygiene is one of them. So getting rest is very, very, very important to good hygiene. Staying hydrated, Drink water. All you out there, all you people out there that's talking about, well, I don't like water. So you don't bathe either? You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to have water. We're supposed to consume water, right? So drink some water, okay? Drink some water. It's okay. It's not gonna kill you. I mean, it could. I don't know, depending on what's in it. But let's be real here. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. A grape soda is not gonna keep you hydrated. Oh, horchata on ice is not gonna keep you hydrated. Sugar-free lemonade, it's still lemonade. Yeah, it's water in there. Drink some water. H2O. Drink some water. Okay? Drink some water. It's okay. It's all right. Keep the body hydrated. Keep the body hydrated. Flossing. Right? However, you got to get up in there. Boom, boom, bow. You know what I'm saying? A little pick, dig up in there. Flossing. Get the food debris out your teeth. Right? Wear clean clothes. As 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 crazy as it may sound, wearing clean clothes, a lot of people don't do. I woke up before and put on the same pair of pants real quick. You know what I'm saying? Doing the same shirt to run out or do something around the house. And maybe I shouldn't have done it, especially if I'm going out in public, because I was taught to always be decent when you go out in public. However, it wasn't smelling like I was in WrestleMania all night in my clothes either. You dig what I'm talking about? Uh, Take care of your nails, your teeth, your feet. Even us men, take care of your nails and your feet. It ain't nothing feminine about caring for yourself. Because if you don't love you, who gonna love you? You know what I'm saying? Take care of yourself. Get some rest. Get some water. And wash your clothes. And even though it seems to be common sense is not so common. And I'm about to drop a gem on you. Check it out. Peep game though. So a cat used to tell me, right? One of my previous job locations, he used to come in all the time. He used to talk to me, shoot the shit, what have you. And he used to tell me while we shooting the breeze, he was like, the problem with society is in today's world, and this was years ago, right? Is that you have dumb people using smartphones. Let that sink in. That's why common sense isn't so common. Dumb people using smartphones. Well, if what you're dependent on is smarter than you, then how are you going to properly navigate, right? Dumb people using smartphones. So common sense isn't so common. So that's why I'm saying the things that I'm saying. Your hygiene is very important. I shouldn't have to smell you. You shouldn't have to smell me. I could be on my feet for 10, 12 hours a day, ripping and running, doing whatever. When I take off my shoes, when I kick them off, my dogs are not barking. You dig what I'm talking about? Every once in a while, they may have that soft growl, but my dogs do not be with the barkness. There's no barking happening when I take off my shoes, right? That's because I take care of myself. So if you're taking care of yourself and you're checking, because I check me, I take off my socks and smell my feet. You know what I'm talking about? I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Are my kicks kicking for real? So your hygiene is really important. It's not only important to you, but it's important to the people around you. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Just take care of your body. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your body, and all the wash and clean and exfoliate, do all that good stuff, moisturize from top to bottom, right? Bottom to top. Get it all. Take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whether you believe in wearing deodorant or not, but you still gotta wash. You know what I'm saying? Wash yourself, okay? Get some rest. Eat some food. Get some nourishment. Like get your fiddles, right? And hydrate the body. Rest, hydrate, put on clean clothes. not going to kill you to take care of yourself. But I feel like I'm dying when I smell people who act like they do not smell themselves. You smell you because I smell you. You woke up with you. I didn't. Take care of your bodies, people. Please do. Please do. And while you're at it, have a sip and relax. Liquid courage, okay? Have a sip and relax. Like, share, follow. Like, share, follow. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Right? And if you miss a step, follow or subscribe, right? So that follow word is a bit it's a bit touchy, depending on who's using it, how it's used, and how people view it. So like, share, subscribe. Let me put it like that. Like, share, subscribe. You can miss out on the liking and the sharing, but subscribe to your boy. It's all good. All right? Subscribe. And while you're at it, have a sip and relax. Now, we're going to continue to kick things off even further. Let's take a trip all the way over to Amsterdam, the one and only red light district, okay? Let's talk about that. Now, there's several things I want to talk about with this article I'm going to bring up. And this particular link will be underneath, right? It may or may not be in the bio, but it will be in the description for the video. So please, please, please check it out, right? I will definitely have this information for people to read on your own and go down the rabbit hole all by yourself and take whatever little turns and that you want to take talking about the serious situation. But so the sex workers are protesting in Amsterdam, right? Because Amsterdam has cracked down on the rowdy crowds that are in the that travel to, that take part in and engage in the festivities within the red light district. Now, I haven't been to the red light district. I know about a handful of people that's been. And that was crazy to say a handful. That's kind of weird when you talk about sex workers. But yeah, I know about, about 3, 4, 5 people that's been to the red light district. And what we know it to be, they say it's what it's cracked up to be. So it seems like Vegas just on a whole nother trip, right? Just a whole different mindset on how they do things out there. Now, so Amsterdam decided, because of the rowdiness and the belligerent, the drinking, the bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, all these different things that are happening, they're saying that they wanted to put something in place. So they put something in place to make things safer in a sense, right? So instead of this 6 o'clock a.m. curfew, it went from 6 to 3. So they shaved off about 3 hours, which while reading this article, I thought it was very interesting. One, because the 2 women that are decided to partake in this interview for this article are using aliases, right? And that's cool, right? However, it's a trip that they are part. One of the ladies is like supervisor, president of a union. So they have a workers union for the sex workers in Amsterdam, right? Pretty business savvy, you know what I'm saying? You're doing what you're doing, protect your neck at all costs. So I fool with it. I like it. I feel like we can learn a lot from this article and the way they're going about their business, and they take their job serious. So we want to continue our safety within our field of our area of expertise as well as anybody else, right? So the curfew is at 3, like I said. So the doors close to all the sex work businesses at 3 o'clock, right? As I said a moment ago, it was at 6 a.m. So, and they did this because they felt like they were making the streets safer by cutting the hours and kind of discouraging people to be out into the wee hours of the morning. Uh, Most of the workers pretty much start at either midnight, they start at 12 or 1 a.m. So that only gives them about a solid 2 to 3 hours to really, um, make money, as opposed they had, a full 6 hours, which, 6 hours, that's a decent work shift, right? In any job, right? 6 hours, you could get more done in 6 than you can in 3. And so, um, the bars close down at about 12 or 1, and so everybody kind of, they get they get nice and sauced up, right? They get that liquid courage. You dig what I'm talking about? And they go ahead and go and look for the lady of the night, like the double OG say. You wearing that red lipstick, girl? You must be a lady of the night. All y'all out there, y'all that know, you know what I'm talking about. Y'all that grew up and your great aunt or your aunt or your grandmother, great grandmother was like, girl, where you going with that red lipstick on? You know what I'm saying? You a lady of the night. You know what I mean? But so anyway, so people leave the club, leave the bars, and they go and buy them some tail. And there's men sex workers, there's women sex workers, right? But the two in the article that are speaking about the change in what Amsterdam is doing and how it's affecting them are two women. So Felicia Anna, I'm sorry, who refused to reveal her real name for private reasons. So I guess it's real gut out there, real deadly out there, right? She's pretty much said, now you only have like about a solid 2 hours to make money, which I just described earlier, which is not enough time, right? So 2 hours, it seems like it should be a lot of time. I would think. I don't know. That's not my area of expertise. But according to Felicia Anna, it is not enough time, right? And so she's lived in the city for about 13 years, and she's head of the union, and it's called the Red Light United. So the sex workers have a union, right? Because it's legal out there, it's legit. But it just, when I read this, I was just in awe because I couldn't really wrap my head around the fact that prostitution has a union. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's good. I feel like if anything that's a business, it should be protected at all costs. You got to protect your investments. You got to protect the time you put into your business, right? So Anna lived in the city for about 13 years. She is head of the union, which is called the Red Light. It was called Red Light United, and it's for the workers in the district, right? So the union and others are behind a petition that called for more police instead of reduced hours, as well as nixing the relocation of businesses outside the city at a proposed erotic center, right? So I thought that was dope too, mainly because they're like, okay, well, we already knew that something was coming, so we already had something for you to pretty much sign off on, right? And say, hey, this is how it could be safer. We have a designated location. You put a few more cops on the street. I'm pretty sure it's a designated location, which it doesn't say in this article as far as I read, is that, we'll probably have security, because that's what people do when they have a business set up, especially something where it could be a danger to the workers, right? You have additional security, you have security, security, and you inform the authorities so they are aware of the business that is happening, and therefore everybody is safe to make their money, right? So another sex worker, Violet, who also chose to use an alias, which is Violet as an alias, explained the safety concerns that was brought by the time change as far as business, the new hours that are now in place, right? And she continues to say, if you're traveling home at 3 o'clock in the morning, especially if everything is closed, then that leaves you as a sex worker in greater vulnerability, right? So she's saying that Just like anywhere else, right? At 3 a.m., I mean, it's still dark outside, right? Like midnight, black, purple, dark blue, navy blue, whatever. It's dark outside. And, you know, sometimes areas aren't as well lit. And I could only imagine, you getting off, you got a whole bunch of, because that's what else is in the article. Violet describes how you have all this cash on you and you're walking home in the dark and everything is closed. So with them shutting everything down like that, there's no immediate transition from one busy moment to another. So 6 a.m. everywhere, right? I'm pretty sure people are going to work, right? People are, getting started for their day. So you got to have people already in commute or starting their commute, which will, typically the more bodies that are around, a lot of times it hinders people from committing harsh acts such as robbing, beating, killing, stealing, all these different things that happen, kidnapping, because there's witnesses, right? And a lot of people don't really want witnesses. A lot of criminals don't want witnesses because that's how criminals get caught, right? So, the 3 a.m. thing, I understand what Amsterdam is trying to do, but I really understand the workers because it's a business, right? And that's not really going to stop the 3 hour, cutoff is not going to stop people from, being crazy and belligerent and having that fun up until that point, right? Because the more you tell us as human beings, when we feel we can't do something, uh, we still do it, right? You have a lot of people who was losing their mind during the pandemic, right? Shelter in place. And a lot of people's like, man, I'm still outside, right? A lot of people never went indoors, other than any other reason that would take them indoors, right? But other than that, they was like, man, I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody out here, but I'm out here, right? So I don't think the change. I think what Amsterdam is doing, I think they kind of made a change in a state of panic. Like we need to get something done. We need to get something done now. Unfortunately, within this article, I didn't really read. I don't recall reading anything that had that was informative towards crime happening. Right? There was nothing really stating that this and that. It was just talking about people partying and how the partying was getting out of hand. Now, it didn't really give detail how it was getting out of hand, but hey, like I said, based on reading this and from what I hear, it's like Vegas, just on a whole nother end of the spectrum, right? It's kind of different in its own way, but very similar, right? And so when you go to Vegas and you're partying and you're hanging out, I mean, some people say, oh yeah, they took it too far, but it was somebody drunk, passed out, threw up somewhere, whatever. Nothing too crazy, right? So it's like the partying aspect of it, I'm trying to understand, but people are going to be belligerently drunk regardless of what environment you put them in. Like if somebody chooses to get drunk, they're going to get drunk. That's just kind of how getting drunk works, right? But yeah, so the red light, what is it again? I'm sorry. The red light union, right? The red light, let me see. Let me go back here. Excuse me for just a second. Let me go ahead and find this. So the Red Light United, right? Red Light United is the sex workers union. And apparently this is affecting guys as well. So as you go further through, you continue to follow along through the article. So it's affecting the men and the women that are sex workers in the red light district. Now that I'm thinking about it and talking it through, 3 hours is a significant difference of business, right? So if I usually close at 10 and I start closing at 7, that's gonna take a lot of getting used to, right? So I think the Red Light United Union has a great point, and they're gonna continue to push their issue to try to just get more officers, pretty much get more security out there and watch people, because that's actually what they should be doing anyway, right? When you have places where there's going to be an abundance of people partying, you usually up the security. That's kind of how that goes, instead of taking it away. Now they may not have wanted to pay for the additional officers on the scene to be on the scene, but hey, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole another day. So this article is definitely, it's a fun read, it's an interesting read, it's a read that you're reading, you have you go, wow, that's pretty interesting. But the fact that they have Red Light United, they have a union for the sex workers, I think is absolutely outstanding. So to all those sex workers in the red light district, Amsterdam, do your thing, do your thing. For ladies, let it spread. For men, let it hang. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all handle y'all business out there. You know what I mean. I appreciate anybody that's handling business, and they're just trying to get a buck like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Some people choose the well, they choose to do the do, and it is what it is. So shout out to the red light district sex workers and red light united. You know what I mean? Continue to do y'all thing. Continue to push y'all issue and make them give you y'all 3 hours back. 6 a.m. 6 a.m. You know what I mean? That's what we want. We want them to be able to work to 6 a.m. You know what I mean? Don't cut their time. Because I don't know how taxes work over there, but I'm pretty sure y'all getting something from them. You know what I mean? They working for their money. You getting something from them. So don't take the ducats away from them. You know what I mean? Let them get theirs. Let them get theirs. In the meantime, have a sip and relax. Yeah, that's good old Elysian Space Dust. Yes, is a good go-to. You know what I mean? I'm a big time IPA drinker when I do have beer, and you really can't miss with Elysian Space Dust. It's a very cool label too. It's awesome. Not bad at all. All right, we gonna kick it on. We gonna punt this further down field. Let's see here. We're gonna punt this further downfield. I want to talk about have you all seen the interesting mess that is on IG? So this was sent over to me about a couple of days ago, and I'm a little late to the party, so most of you may have or may not know this story, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about what I remember from this story because it blew my mind how messy people really are, right? So the link to this actually is on Instagram, and the link to this will definitely be, you know what I'm saying, on all my platforms that this video, even if it's just a reel, I will put the link to the story that I am about to bring to you coming forward. Here you go. You ready? So a lady posts on, she's a wife, and she posts on IG several pages. Probably, you swipe on IG, it's probably about 10 of those bullet points, 9 to 10 of those bullet points. She has a wedding party, right? The wedding party. So the groomsmen, her husband's groomsmen. Now, in the initial segueing into the content that she gave, right? She just mentioned something about her son. All she was doing was trying to deal with the police and her son, and something about selling, buying, not wanting to sell, not wanting to buy something. I'm not really sure on that. I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along the lines of that, right? I'm not spot on because it's not verbatim, but I'm in the ballpark. I'm close. I'm round the third coming home with this information. So she has a picture, and there's emojis blocking faces. It's like the heart emoji, the tongue sticking out, all these different things. It seems like all the kids that were part of the wedding party, all the boys are not being exposed here, right? And then you have some of the men whose faces aren't being exposed, and there was no names as far as I know. Now, she continues on each bullet point, slide, I'm reading. She starts blasting all the groomsmen, right? And when I say blasting them, I'm talking about beyond a leaf blower, like a power wash, like she painting You know what I'm saying? Like she is painting, she's blasting it. So she's talking about how, you know, just she's just dogging every single one whose face is exposed, and then she labels them, right, 1 through 10, right? And after she gets to 10, right, on her list, she starts to double back, and it's like 11, 12. It goes to like 18 or 20 or like that. 18, I believe, is where she stops at. So reading it, once you get to like 11, it looks like she doubled back on number 1, 12, number 2. See what I'm saying? I could be wrong, but that's how it seemed after she got to 10. Now, she's just telling like some crazy business. Like one of the groomsmen stole $20 from their couch, and he was on camera. He got approached, got addressed about it. Initially he lied, and then he turned around and told the truth and said he stole the $20 off the couch. One of the other guys, she said, they all talk about you. Now, she really didn't mention her husband in this, but she was really just dogging all the groomsmen who were visually exposed, right? The ones that she picked, numbered 1 through 9. She labeled. So one of the guys, she says, yeah, they say that they all say that they think that you know, you swing both ways. They think that you bisexual or gay, and that you have herpes, and even though she said, I don't think so, because you have hella hoes. That was definitely in the text, right? That's hilarious by far. That is very funny. So she's saying all these different things like that, talking about how one of the guys was talking about how his girl gave her brother fellatio, and he swallowed. I mean, and she swallowed. Excuse me. So one of the guys, she said, "Oh, well, your girlfriend gave my brother fellatio, and she swallowed, and he didn't even have sex with her, right? He didn't even hump her, right?" So I'm using, clean choice of words right now. I'm using clean choices because it was very descriptive and not for kids. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about anything that could be said. I think she said one of the homies had his girl. She had a train ran on her, and one of the other cats, she said that, well, your wife or your girl be showing the movies y'all like to make to our gay friend, and he say that your penis is small. I mean, this story is crazy, and again, I am definitely going to send this link to this Instagram post because you all need to read it. It's messy, but it's entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And so the reason why I brought that up is because I want to know what has to happen, or can anything happen? Is it acceptable for someone to do this? Right? Because I feel that if you knew this information, and she was blasting some of the guys whom she friended their wives or their girlfriends, right? Now, me personally, I stay out of people's business, because whether you my homegirl, whether you my partner, oh, that's my guy right there, oh, that's my girl right there, right? And I meet your dude or your girlfriend or your wife or your husband or whatever, and I meet them through you. Once I make a decent association with them, and it's a genuine connection there, and we're cool, I stay out of y'all business. You know what I'm saying? So what is okay, or is it okay for somebody to get hurt and then hurt everybody else? Because a lot of, even though it was entertaining, a lot of what she was doing was a hurt person hurting other people. So is that ever okay? Because when people do stuff, we say, "Oh yeah, well, they're hurt." Oh yeah, well, hurt people. But the problem I have with the story, right? The issue I have with the story is that this lady, the wife, she started off by stating, "Y'all know I like to mind my business, but if I feel wronged, I can get real messy, real dirty," or some crazy words, some wild words like that. So my thing is, that was premeditated. That was beyond being hurt. That's what I think. But is it ever okay? That's the thing. Even if you're a hurt person hurting other people and it's by default, is it ever okay? That's I think that's a legitimate question, uh, especially because people, we can be reactionary rather than responsive. Because when you're responding, you take time, you think, you respond. Right? That's how responding works. When you're reacting, it's like somebody get hit and they hit back, right? Not even thinking. It's like it's a reflex, right? Boom, boom. Every action gets a reaction. Boom, boom. It's like walking, right? Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, whatever, however you do it, right? That's that's reaction. It's reaction. It's reaction. But being reactionary is not really accepted. So is hurt people hurting other people, is that ever accepted? Even if they weren't really thinking, and they lost this, they found that this happened, that happened. Yeah, but is it okay? My thing is it being okay. I don't like when things that are wrong are deemed okay. Even if we make mistakes. And the fact that she led with I can get real messy, or I'm you know me, you know that I could do this, I could do that. She let it be known that I'm gonna do some wild stuff and I'm gonna say some crazy things, and you ain't gonna like it, but I don't care. That's the context I read it in, right? That's how I read it. And I know sometimes people say don't read in between the lines, but again, y'all gonna check this out, and y'all are going to pretty much y'all probably gonna think what I'm thinking and probably feel how I'm feeling. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you messy too. You know what I'm saying? And you agree with everything she's saying and what she's doing. But there's just so much left out the story. I tried to Google it and find it, and I couldn't really find much on it other than the stuff that was posted. But it's very, very wild. It's very, very messy, and it's very, very entertaining. All in the same, all of it. It's just all in the same. It's just all of those things, which is weird because I don't want to be entertained by it, but I was literally reading bullet point, page, page. I'm going through it and I'm reading it. I'm laughing. Couldn't help it. I'm laughing. Now, I don't like to laugh at another person's demise, right? I don't know what has come from this that's negative. I don't know what's going to come from this that's negative. So I don't want to laugh at anyone's downfall. But man, woman, it was on the internet. And the internet does not play fair. And we all know the internet does not play fair. So, with that being said, I am your host with the most, Beethoven, the Innovator. You dig what I'm talking about? Another one like the other one. This is Liquid Courage. So have yourself a sip and relax. But before I go, like, share, subscribe. What? Like, share, subscribe. You hear me, do you? Like, share, subscribe. You know what I mean? So, the YouTube, visualize to realize. Facebook, visualize space to space realize. It's visualize to realize across the board. All one word. Visualize the number two, realize. Excuse me for tapping and bumping the mic right there as I feel myself. But yeah, YouTube, visualize to realize. Instagram, visualize underscore number two underscore realize. Visualize underscore number two underscore realize. Okay. TikTok, visualize to realize. YouTube, visualize to realize. And even the link tree. You know what I'm saying? It's free. So why not show support to me with a little bit of love? I'll take that too. Because everybody love you. They may actually love you or love to hate you, but they love you. Dig what I'm talking about? So with that being said, out of here. Have a sip and relax.